He has a red cloth that runs from his left shoulder. That runs from his left shoulder like this, down here. Red, 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 red. And you can imagine when it's red within the glory of the Lord. This is the same red cloth. Even when the hand came to touch me, the glory is tremendous. But you could see where he was punched. You see? The nail. When he was sure that I focused on him in that vision, then he lifted the hand like this. Then look what I did for you. You see that? He is so satisfied that he did it. But the problem is this. He was so much abused. He was carrying a cross that would deliver you. The church. They beat him like a dog until he fell down, until the shoulder broke. Until he could not even carry the shoulder that was carrying the cross. He fell down with it now. The shoulder broke. He collapsed. He was so shocked. In fact, until if you read Psalm 22, you see that he died more of shock than physical injury. He was so shocked at the amount of hate that these people had accumulated against him. How could you beat me like this? Until he wept. Beat until he fell down. You try to beat a dog right here in front of this gate like that, you'll be arrested. You understand me? Because there are laws protecting dogs, but there was no law to protect the Messiah. They beat him so horrendously until now we can never perceive. We have never been able to perceive the depth of the suffering of the Christ. That is the blood that is symbolic of the red cloth. The blood he poured for you. How could you go to sexual sin if you really perceive the suffering of the Christ? How could you choose me, self, me? I want to be happy. You know me, I want to be me, your feelings. Jesus never chose his feelings on that day. But he felt towards you. And he does this. So look what I did. What a whole thing shows. So you may see. But when he looks at the wounds and the scars, then he asks, but where is the church that I practice? Where is the church that I practice? They are busy doing comedy. The pastors. Preaching, and the more funny you are, the better, the more anointed probably they think, right? People like him. Women laugh, they love that church, they go there. Isn't it? The more comical you are, the more you have more people, the more money you gather. Right? How can we say this is the temple of the Lord? The temple of the Lord. The temple of the Lord, and yet God is not here. He's asking, where is that church that I so much suffered for? The wounds I see, the scars I can see, but where is that church? They have joined politics. In Rwanda, people ran to churches, pastors turned around, killed them also. In Kenya, people ran to churches, pastors turned around and killed them. And they burnt them in the churches. Pastors surrendered them, say, that's another tribe, kill that one. He licked them. Pastors knew the list of who is from another tribe here in Kenya. The church ought to have maintained with Christ, to have waited on Christ. You don't go back and find that the girl you wanted to marry started going to drink in the bars. She has your engagement ring, but she's just out moving with men in sexual sin. The church is guilty of sexual sin, spiritual sexual sin. The church is guilty of unfaithfulness to the bridegroom. She went to the men of witchcraft, the men of the false prophets, the men of deception and lies, the men of money, the men of the gospel of wealth transfer being preached on global TV today. That please Christians, wait for a lot of wealth is going to come from the world to you. And yet that wealth will drift you away from Christ. That is common knowledge today, that wealth drifts people away from the Lord. Makes men drunk. After, pastors begin, Lord, I want to preach, I'm hungry. I have fire. The Lord sends a few people in his life, anoints him. He preaches with fire. More people come. His basket of offerings grows. Tomorrow a big car. Tomorrow America, where Europe, Australia. After that, he now wants political power. He wants to go to parliament. He's now quitting the very boss who raised him. He's going to another boss because there is now more money and political power. Where is the church that Jesus purchased? And he says here, verse 13, Revelation 19. He is dressed in a robe dipped in blood. You see that? And his name is the Word of God. The armies of heaven, this is what I want to bring you on the rapture door. The armies of heaven are following him, riding on white horses and dressed in fine linen, white and clean. Did you see that fine linen before the rapture? And now you see it at the second coming of Christ. That means when you prepare today and spiritually begin to enter into the rapture today you tell yourself, Lord, I am not going to wait for rapture, because that day you will essentially close the door. And it happens like this, so you don't even have time to prepare. I am going to prepare today, which means if I am a woman here, I'm going to my closet, look at what clothes are full of prostitution that I've been wearing. You see that? Some of you women have even kept clothes that some of your boyfriends gave you before you married. Some of you women have kept rings that some of your boyfriends gave you before you married your husband. That every day when you look at that ring, you feel good. Can we talk about these things? Let us talk today. Some of you women have kept even shoes that your other illicit, evil boyfriends gave you when you went to those dates. And you are busy lying to your husband that, I'm just keeping it there. But every day you open the closet, you look at it, it has a quenching thing it does into your evil heart. Some evil quenching. That when this man disturbs me these days like this, I always go to the closet and smell the other cloth. Don't I know these things? They even smell that when I smell the other man. Do you want us to talk about these things today? It must end today if you want to enter the rapture. You have watches and rings bought to you by some illegal, some evil relationships. You have kept them. I will tell you to throw them away. Right? The Lord is saying, get rid of the yeast. Because the devil will sneak in yeast without you knowing. You understand? If you want to enter through this door, do you hear me? Time has come for you, the church, to enter. Let nothing stop you from entering through this door. Because you will never enter with a car, with a home, with whatever your values are. People have value systems. Homes, car, whatever. School fees, my kid to be educated, whatever they are. Education of your kids. Let those things not stop you from entering through this door. Because here what I see is that the gown you prepare before the rapture is the gown you enter with where? Into the rapture. And it's the gown they are coming with back with Jesus. You see that? Did you realize that? The armies of heaven, those are the raptured saints. Verse 14, the armies of heaven were following him, riding on white horses, dressed in fine linen, bright and clean. So that means what you decide today, we are talking today. You people have prepared today that has been hidden in your heart. That woman, when you preach, she smiles at you. A little lasting going on, but you know I have my safety valve. You see that? No, I am safe. No. Your wife is complaining. Be careful. No, I'm mature. You have to throw that today here in the campus. Get rid of those little watches and throw them away. Do you hear me? The devil may have slipped them. Most of you know them anyway. Or maybe secretly, without knowing. Whether it's a dress that is lingering in your closet, you've grown bigger than that dress. Throw it away. A man, if it is just that chain, that watch, I don't know, I'm just mentioning things. If it is a car, get rid of it. That every time I enter this car, I remember my girlfriend. The devil is using that to hold church hostage. Because the same gown you prepare today, until eternity, you return with it where? To Jerusalem. And that's why Isaiah said, when he saw the door, said, enter those rooms, shut yourself, my people, into those rooms for a little while. That is 7 years.